Hey folks, it's Greg and Janet. Today we're in Van, Texas, which is a small town in East Texas. And if you don't know, Texas is known for oil. So we found a oil and drilling history museum here, and we're gonna take a look around. All right, this is the outside of the museum. They're only open on Saturdays from 10 to 2. It's a free museum. And it looks really cool though. Looks really cool. All right, guys, we couldn't go inside and film. They have a sign out front saying no cameras allowed inside, but this really is a fascinating place. I'll show you some of the other equipment that they have outside here. All kinds of stuff. Now I have no idea what most of this machinery is and tools, but it's cool.
Yeah. Trying to figure it all out is our job, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can explain some of it. These right here are particularly interesting. Before, they had what they had called a central pumping unit. And there was a machine that these rods would hook to that was elliptical. And so the rods would go from this central power unit out across the ground to the different wells around it.
Okay.
And that's what they used to pump. Well, if they wanted to take one offline, all they had to do was pull this C-clamp out.
Okay.
It would remove the well from the central power unit, and then they could work the well over. So that's what.
Oh,
that's
cool.
what those are for.
Okay.
Okay.
It's a heavy duty.
Yeah, it is. Everything having to do with
Look at that, Jay.
oil
This
process
is
is
one of
heavy.
the rods actually that it was hooked to.
Oh, yeah? Okay, gotcha. That makes
Oh,
sense.
okay.
Cool.
Wow.
Man, you ready, honey?
That's
Need
why-
a new job?
That's why when you see those TV shows with the guys that work in the refineries and then out in the oil fields, they all look like big bodybuilders.
Yeah.
Oil containers, I guess. Look at the old pumps here. This is neat.
Vegas and those casinos. That's why I ended up having my hip replacements, because those guys that pace and paint and walking stairs, carrying that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Just
Wore you out.
Yeah.
But what? No falling off the ladders. Good. Yeah, that's crazy.
That's a neat use for an old truck.
The C-cab
Yeah.
Ford.
It's cute.
That was actually the original first truck in the oil field here.
Really? Wow.
Look at this. See what this?
Those
Wow.
are drill
Oh,
bits.
yeah.
Drill bits. Look at this.
That's what they look like.
It's amazing, yeah.
This would be a surface bit, what they would start the hole with,
Uh-huh.
and then they would go through a 7 5/8 bit to complete it.
Wow.
Jeez. That's amazing.
Now, I grew up in Parker, Texas, just outside of Plano. And there we had white rock, a lot of white rock. Hardly anybody would put a pool in because it was so hard to dig. Do you guys have a lot of white rock here?
It's trucked in. I think it comes from Wills Point,
Okay.
west of here.
Yeah.
Cleachy is what we call it.
Caliche.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. That's now John got lucky with his land. He's got 500 foot of sand. Now in Canton. Yeah, he went all the way to the well.
How cool is this, guys? All kinds of equipment. That's a tractor, guys, right there. Let's see what we got out here on the outside. This is really pretty fascinating, guys, because this town is a very small town. I'm not sure what the population is of Van, but it can't be more than somewhere between 800 and 1,500 people. And turns out that this museum is actually owned, it's a public museum. It's not really owned by anybody. It's just everybody kind of got together and donated items. We couldn't film inside. They had a sign up saying no cameras allowed inside. But I can tell you what was on the inside. It's kind of a heritage museum, history museum of the Van Zandt County and the town of Van. And they had some really cool items inside, including a bazooka from World War I believe. And they also had machine guns from World War II. They had photographs of some of the big floods that they had here. They had a little bit of everything, kind of just a general history of the county. And this county is really pretty fascinating. So, but a lot of machinery out here. And we did learn that this type of oil pump here, which I used to see all the time off of I-10 in Texas as we drive through, this is called a pump jack. And this is the head of the pump jack right over here. This is the ones you'd see going up and down, up and down. And right, I'll show you one that is a modern version here on this land in just a bit, that is currently pumping between 1,000 and 1,500 barrels a day. And that pump jack was originally owned by Chevron, I believe, and it was sold within the last few years to a private corporation. Look at those signs. Some classic signs. And here is an older oil derrick. See if I can't get underneath it and show you how high up it is. That thing is a monster. I bet it's 6 or 7 stories tall. And this looks like it was an operating derrick. But yeah, you can see the pulleys up there. Wow. Scary. And there's the ladder system that you'd use to climb up to that rascal. That is a long ways up there, folks. Look at the size of these pulleys. And there is literally nothing in the oil refining business or oil drilling business that is lightweight. Everything is unbelievably heavy and almost indestructible. Look at that thing. That's a hoist. Now right over here, we were told by one of the curators here at the museum, this was the first truck used in the oil fields out here in Van. I believe he called it a C-class. Isn't that neat? And they've converted it to part of the deck entering the building. Show you guys some of these signs over here too. Very interesting place. Okay guys, this was the first cabin in Van Zandt County. It's built in the 1830s, before the Civil War, and it's still standing. And I was just told all these marks in the wood, these were all from the 1830s when this cabin was built. You guys know what this is. This is a modern 1800s bathroom. But look at the condition on this building. It's amazing. And Texas is a very humid area. So I would not have thought this building would still survive. Now, you've seen us out in Death Valley, and out there, you know, things will last forever. But somebody has really taken care of this property. Now right here is another oil derrick. It sits right here on this property. Fascinating. And these were all working oil derricks right here on this property. And Van Zandt, or the city of Van here, the town of Van, we've seen probably 8 or 9 working oil derricks that are still in operation here. And here's the one I was telling you guys about earlier. This is a modern day pump jack. Not like the ones that I used to see back in the 60s, 70s, and 80s on I-10. This thing is massive. It may not look that big to you guys, but I'm estimating that that thing is a good 3 stories tall. They've got a counterweight on it to help it go up and down. And that thing is actually pumping oil right now. I can smell the oil in the air. This is pumping between 1,000 and 1,500 barrels a day. And it's silent. You guys can hear that. Let me get you a little closer. It's very quiet. I'm not joking when most of the Ford F-150s driving down the road are louder than this. Amazing. Isn't that cool? Site of Pure Oil Company camp. You guys can pause this if you'd like to see it or read it.
Okay guys, hope you enjoyed the oil area and historical museum in Van, Texas. Greg had a great time. We met Ron. He was so informative and he was so excited about wanting to see everything on our YouTube channel. So that's awesome. So,
Yeah, and if you're ever in Van, you have to check out that museum. It is really, really cool.
it is cool.
Take it easy, guys.